Robbo, we not done. How about some more quick hits? Chelsea have their new boss, and by all accounts, it's Leicester City's Enzo Maresca. Rob, you watch much more of the championship than I do. What should fans expect?
When they play well, they play a mixture of...
Well, they won the league. Presumably they played relatively well.
They had a dodgy spell. They had a wobble. Remember, he didn't do particularly well at Parma, but the Leicester side, if the opposition sit off them, they'll play out from the back and they try and play into midfield and play little balls around the corner. They are quite an expansive side. They like to have the inverted fullback coming in, and we've heard him talk about it because he likes it as a defensive setup, so that when they are playing forward, they've got an extra player in that central midfield. It's whether they've got the players to play, because he's been with Pep Guardiola twice. And everybody that's been with Pep Guardiola becomes a disciple of his style of football. So if they play it well, it'd be something like Man City. If they play it poorly, they could find themselves in trouble.
Is this group of players, are they suited to playing that kind of style?
I think Chelsea's players are. Yeah, I think they've got good enough players. I just don't think they've worked quite well enough this season.
I was just wondering because the wingers seem very direct to me, more so than the kind of wide players that Pep has.
Yeah, but they're certainly they're dynamic, so they can make it work in terms of the formation. Gab Marcotti will reportedly be handed a 5-year contract. That's quite a long time.
I think it's near impressive. Who the hell gets 5-year contracts? I mean, like not even like Klopp. Maybe Klopp or Pep or Sir Alex. But what this tells to me is one of two things. Either this is just an incredibly stupid move, or more likely that 5-year contract, not really a 5-year contract. 5-year contract, yeah, it's a 5-year contract, but after 1 year, after 2 years, we have a review. There's a break clause. If you don't see out your 5-year contract, we're not going to pay off the rest of the contract. We only pay a set amount, and you sign up to it. And you just tell people it's a 5-year contract because technically it may be. That's my only explanation. When people do really stupid things,
that happens with most managers. It's a 5-year contract, but
no manager gets a 5-year contract.
If we sack you, you get 1 year or something like that.
Yeah, but most managers don't get 5-year contracts. No. So it's not really a 5-year contract, right?
No.
So, I wouldn't read too much into it. But it just, because also if he does well after 2 years, he's going to come knocking, right? You presume?
Yes.
So, Bayern have a new boss too. Vincent Kompany has been confirmed. Robbo, I have my views on this, and it doesn't just have to do with the fact that 7 different coaches turned down the job. I actually like him. But what's your take?
It's an interesting one because not too many managers would get a top-class job having just got a team relegated. But they're not going on this season. They're going on the previous season where Vincent Kompany did a very good job. They played a good style of football. They had a limited budget. He'll have a bigger budget at Bayern Munich. They played decent football. I think he's a manager that would probably get on with the hierarchy, which is a big thing at Bayern Munich. Will he be good? I'm not sure.
But he has the Pep rubber stamp. He's another one. You know what? Pep could be like those mafia dons where he gets like a taste. He gets a kickback from everybody else. Like, you got to kick 10% of your salary up to me because I made you. I'm between Arteta, this guy. I'm surprised Arteta hasn't I'm surprised Arteta hasn't shaved his head to look more like Pep. I guess he wants to be his own man now. But
Maresca looks like him, so what about Antonio Conte edges closer to signing for Napoli. Gab, it looks like there will be a major revamp there, doesn't it?
Yeah, so there's so much detail coming out. Napoli have a new director of football, Giovanni Manna, who was at Juventus. Again, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they're saying they want 10 players out, they want 8 players in, presumably the 8 guys coming in cheaper than the 10 guys going out. Hopefully, if you're a Napoli fan, among them aren't Osimhen, Kvaratskhelia, Di Lorenzo. There are other stars. Di Lorenzo already supposedly been linked. Conte apparently not a huge fan. I don't know if that's true. But they still haven't worked out Conte's contract. They're like, coming up. They're talking a 3-year deal for an enormous amount of money, 8 million euros net, which again works out to about 13 million pounds a year gross, which I think is the amount of money Arteta would be very happy with. Reportedly, Conte has a break clause where he can walk away anytime. I'll tell you what, again, this goes back to the Maresca 5 years. When you hear stuff like this, it doesn't make sense. It's either because the people signing the contracts are morons, or more likely they're not morons. There's stuff that you don't know. So if Conte can break the contract anytime, I'm sure De Laurentiis because he's too smart, has some clause in there where he's like, well, maybe we can break the contract anytime, as well. So I don't know.
He's got a history of sort of falling out with people at the top, hasn't he?
And so does the guy at the top, right? So I don't know. I'm skeptical, but it's going to be exciting. What can I tell you? Manchester United are conducting their review into the manager's job. We don't know yet if Erik ten Hag is staying, but if there is a change, there are what some people are calling the Ratcliffe rules. Now, these are criteria for the new boss, and tell me if you're on board with these, right? So the new coach has to follow technical director Jason Wilcox's style of play. Mm-hmm. Every year, they will sign 5 under 25 players so that there is a natural turnover of the squad, and you don't get stuck with all these old Casemiros. And also, when the manager wants a player, he identifies the area of the pitch or the characteristics, but he doesn't get to name the player. The club then go away and say, oh, you want a right back who does this, that, and that. Here are 3 names. Who do you like? Rank them in order, and then we'll see if they're available. This is completely different from the days when Sir Alex Ferguson was omnipotent, right?
So you said 3 things there. The only one I disagree with is the director Jason Wilcox's style of play. Jason Wilcox should have the style of play up until the first team. Once you've got a manager, a head coach in at the first team, he's got to dictate the style of play that the first team use.
You think he's going to know better than Jason Wilcox?
Yeah, well, but Jason Wilcox, he's got... So your progression of players coming into the side, they have to have a certain style of football, and then they have to be good enough at lots of things so the manager, the head coach, can adapt their style accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bit chicken and egg. I think Jason Wilcox will presumably have a hand in hiring the new manager, if there's a new manager. So he's going to bring in somebody whose style of play naturally fits his own vision. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the academy's job is to complement the first team. But Wilcox, by the way, another Pep Guardiola guy. They're everywhere.
Yeah.